So this is Blue Cruise.
What you doing over there?
It's kind of boring. It's driving at 77 miles an hour. We've been averaging 1.9 kilowatts per mile. And we're in hands-free mode. And other than occasionally I gotta like stare at the eye sensors to get it to recognize that I am looking at the road. Start doing kind of this game every once in a while so it recognizes my eyes. But other than that, stress-free driving. Every time we pass the speed limit sign, it recognizes it and adjusts my speed, which sometimes is good. Once we passed the rest stop, and the rest stop had a 30 mile an hour speed limit sign, but we're on a 75 mile an hour highway. That could have been bad because the truck started slowing down, but I just pushed on the gas pedal until I could adjust it back to the right speed. So driving Blue Cruise, you can't sleep, but keep your eye on and be ready to do things. It does take a lot of stress out of driving.
So, love it or hate it?
I love it. I would look at the camera, but it's about to complain at me. Let's see how long it takes. Yep, there it goes. So, yeah, no falling asleep, but the eye sensors get a little more challenging at night and when there's a lot of shadows going through. I think it has a hard time tracking you. Daytime, it's been fantastic. Any major highway, almost 80%, 90% of our trip so far has been on Blue Cruise hands-free enabled highways. But it's got lane centering in unsupported areas, and that's pretty decent, but you really have to keep your hands on the wheel and do the classic swerve for safety. If you don't know what swerve for safety is, you haven't driven a Ford adaptive speed control vehicle yet. It'll tell you, you need to have your hands on the steering wheel, and the only way to convince it is to do an unnecessary swerve. It's like it doesn't understand the concept of a straight road. But here we go. We're going to change lanes with Blue Cruise. Turn the blinker on, change lanes, blinker off, wait for it, and as soon as it decides that
There it is.
it's back. And we're passing a state trooper. And you'll see how the speed auto adjusts to the car in front of me. It knows the last speed limit sign that we track, so I don't care about passing the state trooper because we're under the speed limit. I have it set to go 2 miles an hour over the speed limit. The other thing to pay attention to that I know I wanted to see is how does Apple CarPlay look on the big screen? Apple CarPlay is phenomenal. So you can choose to have it full screen mode or shrink it down to a little bit more of a standard. You still have access to a lot of things. If I want to go look at Ford's navigation for whatever reason, we can do that. We can pop back to Apple CarPlay. We can access trip status here. So you can see how we're using our electricity. But you can minimize the apps down there, which is where we're keeping it. Here's what we've done so far. 13 hours of actual vehicle on. Wow, we're pushing 700 miles.
Woo-hoo. Halfway.
Halfway there. And then pop back to Apple CarPlay. My most favorite feature is, even though I get turn-by-turn directions there, with Apple Maps, it gives me the directions on the instrument panel in front of me. So even if you're messing around and aren't on the direction screen, you still get what you need there. So so far, F-150 Lightning, Blue Cruise, 2 thumbs up for me.